Hello everyone, Favorite Night Out here to talk about buying military surplus gear. Before we get started, like, share, and subscribe. Check out the link below to my Subscribe Star account, which is under DSR of a Rulevin Pack. Help a small creator out with just a $2 monthly donation. Alrighty then, let's get on with it, shall we? Well, we'll start with each individual piece and move what I use it for, if there's any specific purpose. Also, the value of it compared to what you can already buy in the store. Fantastic! Right here in the center, we have this little old bag. It has two distinct can openers. The smaller ones, if I remember correctly, are of a later model. There's both an original and a replica of these military can openers. These were from back in the day of sea rations and the like. The larger ones, I believe, are the older ones. Fantastic. As can openers go, the larger ones are much better. Although I could be reversing the age of these. The smaller ones might be the older ones. But I'm pretty sure the big ones are the older ones. These are actually fairly effective, especially the larger ones, at opening cans, especially smaller cans. And they are fairly handy. In fact, at this military surplus bag I acquired a while back, there is a little pocket on the inside of this pocket that I put two of these in whenever I'm traveling with this particular bag. And the other two go in my main bag with the mess kit. Cool beans, cool beans. These are simple to use. You just hook them on there and leverage force in order to open that can. Let's move it aside, clear some space. There is not a lot of space on this table. Alrighty then. This is some more serious hardware. You have this little contraption here, which is used for beverages. Fantastic. In fact, when I got it, it came in this nice little handy bag attached to this handy little belt, which I nearly threw on the floor right there. Oh dear, did it again. Let's move some stuff around. How unfortunate. Someone actually gave me this bag with the canteen in it and this thing for the drinks. You can also, if you have an Espit stove, use that to heat this little metal thing to heat whatever beverage is on the inside. This can be used for both soups and beverages. In fact, I last used this about a year ago on the beach. Cool beans, cool beans. In fact, when I pulled it out for this video, it had a lot of sand on it still, which was not fun to clean up. Moving on to the bag itself with the belt. The belt fits around my backpack whenever it's fully packed, no pun intended, for traveling to carry an extra canteen on the back. Also, it fits around my waist, not so well, but you know, hey. Cool beans, cool beans. Now, as for water storage, these two canteens are unique. One of them is actually slightly larger, and I think it's an older canteen. And it doesn't even fit in this thing particularly well. And that's how I know it's slightly larger. So definitely a change in models, although this one is definitely a bit more beat up. I bought this a while back, and it's come in pretty handy. These fit generally quite well in quite a few bags. Although some of the camping ones you find tend to be larger, or at the very least hold slightly a bit more fluid. In fact, you can get some pretty large camping ones, although these are still quite handy. And the bag is quite comfortable, the one came in. Alrighty then. Need to be moving on. Move these aside before I bring the bag in. The big bag this time. This bag contains several pockets. This outer pocket with the thing I tend to keep ID in whenever I'm traveling. When I found this, it was part of a set. However, before I made it back to the store, they had already sold parts of the set, and this was all that remained. And I found, looking at it, it would actually quite well attach to my traveling pack from the outside. In fact, I'll show that in a later video of how exactly it attaches. That outer packet I use ID, and there's another pocket in there which I use to usually keep said can openers. Fantastic. I generally travel armed, so this handy little pouch here actually fits a single 10-round magazine for my scout rifle. It is a double stack, not a single stack, although it might fit 5-round single stack quite well, maybe 2. Depends on what you have available. Opening it up, there actually is plenty of space in there. I gotta do this, shoot everything by hand. Oh dear, oh dear. It's settled back down. There's actually 2 pockets, one on each side. I do not know if you can see those. You probably cannot. So I probably should have left it shut, instead of making all that unnecessary noise. Alrighty then, there's plenty of room in there, and there's 2 pockets I usually keep 2 small, usually a spare compass and a spare knife in. Also, what I generally use this for is a mess kit, along with several other items, including some extra food, sometimes some extra water, depending on the trip in question. Although, if you particularly carrying things that don't need heated to eat, that mess kit is usually able to be removed for more water storage. However, I also use this for carrying additional ammo, not just the extra magazine, but usually I carry an extra couple boxes of ammo inside of this particular bag. It does fit quite well and doesn't particularly move around a lot, but only when my travel pack is full. I also attach my camping canteens to the outside, as well as this right here. Fantastic. Traveling around to military surplus stores can provide quite a few interesting things, including this, which I do attach a number of things to, and has come in quite handy over the years, ever since acquiring it at least. I've only had this, I believe, 2 years now, so years would be probably an exaggeration of a term. Fantastic. Let's move on to general points to be made. General points to be made is simple. You can generally get these for a reasonable price. Military surplus gear tends to be fairly rugged and long-lasting, but you do have to take into account that whenever you purchase military surplus gear, you have to deal with the fact that, well, it's already pre-used, generally. Although sometimes you get new old, in which it just kind of sat around in a supply depot until it was decided to distribute on out to the civilian population. Or various other ways it can make it to the market. Alright then. You can find some interesting camping cookware. For example, this thing here has come in handy quite a few times, especially since I tend to spend a lot of time outdoors. These particular little can openers don't take up a lot of space. In fact, you probably buy a number of them and just kind of stick them throughout the house and in your bags, so you're never really that far from a can opener. The canteens, well, a lot of camping canteens do contain more. This here is still a pretty rugged canteen that I feel safe sticking in one of my bags. If you want to secure this a little bit better, you can also wrap some tape around that before you want to use it. Alrighty then. Channel news. This will be uploaded to both my YouTube and my BitChute account. BitChute is under the same name as my Subscribestar account, DSR Verulven Pack. YouTube is just DSR. Although my YouTube channel, I also post game videos. These game videos tend to be streams, but I also do shorter videos. In fact, I'm going to be doing more shorter videos and cut it back on the streams a little. Or more, depending on how I feel. Fantastic. Like, share, and subscribe, and see everyone around.